Hey everybody, my name is Kathy and welcome to my channel. And today is May 8th and I'm going to just show you some things that we've been up to get you up to speed, because some of these videos have been about a month late, and so we're getting back on track now. And so I'll let you know what I've been doing this past week. And one of the things I did was I went and got myself a new chainsaw. And this thing is a cordless chainsaw. It's 14 inches. It's not really big, but it works really well. I'll show you how well in a little bit. And then we went and got this big old tote to put it in, since it does not come with a case. Some of the other things I've been doing is hardening off plants. There I've got some okra and some cucumbers that are hardening off. And we'll go, this is my Mother's Day gift from my husband. Isn't it beautiful? Okay, now we'll go out and I'll show you what's going on. The hostas and sedans are doing wonderfully. I got a bush back there. I really don't remember what it was. I lost the tag, so I'm kind of curious as to what it is. But it's very pretty. The reason I got it is because this Rose of Sharon isn't doing well, and I'm afraid I might have to take it completely out once this bush gets bigger. Over here we have the Astelbes are doing well. Sedans, the daylilies. My irises are blooming. Got a pretty purple one here. And the yellow one. And then over here, the daylilies are up. The albums are blooming. This is the first year I've tried these, and these are just absolutely beautiful. I got a daylily coming up there. Got a couple weeds that need to pull out of here yet. As you see, the daffodils are all pretty much gone. And I've got to finish putting some better soil in this area and filling it up and getting those rocks out of there and planting. I got some daylilies in there and some daffodils that bloomed, but I really need to improve the soil here. We just added this concrete, so it had a lot of junk in it before we dug out. So it's a work in progress. Now, I have been kind of late getting things started in the garden, and I've got a lot yet to do. As you can tell, the lilac bush is done blooming for the year, so I need to get in here and trim out like the dead part there. I need to trim it out. And I've got some taller pieces and some shorter pieces on this. That's because I'm renewing it. I'm taking out about a third of it every year to get it new growth coming in, because so much of the old growth had died out. So this year I'll be taking that whole section out and this whole section out and just leaving the center part. My climbing rose is going crazy. I need to attach the trellis back to the wall. It's bent forward. Actually, the plant has gotten taller than what the trellis is, so I'm not for sure if I should get a bigger trellis or if I should move the plant next year. And the yuccas are well. My peach iris is beautiful, but I have a problem with it. Every year it lays down. I keep forgetting that I need to stake it. I need to get in here and weed this part. I haven't got it done yet. I got more irises here, and the crepe myrtle there is doing well. This crepe myrtle has a problem near the top, so I'm going to have to probably use that chainsaw and take that whole top out and fall it down until I get to good wood, because that does not look good. The peonies are starting to put out buds. Notice I had some poison ivy in there. I need to redo the pond. You see there's a frog in there. You see him? That's my buddy. He's here every year, but I gotta get the pump going again. My goldfish, I need to treat it for algae. The goldfish has hardly no room to swim anymore because of the algae, and the water lily needs to be divided. My first rose of the summer. I need to trim this back. This is all dead wood. It's got new growth already coming up, so I need to really take these out. So that's the front. And now we're going to go and see what that chainsaw has done. If you remember back, we had that big dead tree right in the center of this pathway here. And all these little plum trees were on the ground. They had big, gnarly limbs that were, it was a mess to try to mow under. And that little chainsaw has done most of this work. And it took this big tree down. My husband did it. I didn't do it. Actually, it scared me, and I didn't want to do it. So I'll be truthful about it. I'm a little afraid of super tall things that fall down. But it's going to look so much better, and it's going to be so much easier to mow. And I won't have to deal with that poison ivy. And that'll be great. So, I really recommend the chainsaw. This did all this on one one charge. So, pretty happy about it. Now he's resorting to the old hand saw to get some of those down while we're waiting for the saw to, the battery to recharge. And that's the next tree that needs to come down, but I think that one's definitely out of our range because of the greenhouse. Okay, now let's go and check and see how things are growing in the greenhouse. Now, we've had some really bad weather this spring. It's been kind of unusual, and we haven't been able to get things done that we wanted to get done. So I am really grateful for the greenhouse, or otherwise we'd have nothing right now. Because all the seeds I planted earlier did not do any good because it got too wet, and then it got too cold, and most of the seeds that were in there in the ground outside rotted. But this is what I've got going on in here. Got a bunch of potted plants which are just now starting to bloom. I was hoping to have them in bloom by Mother's Day so I could try to sell them, but it looks like I'm about a week too late, maybe a little bit more. But that's okay. I'll either give them away as gifts, or I'll still try to sell them. We've got different venues I can try. We got down to 38 degrees in here last night, and I did not put any fleece over anything, but the tomatoes all look well. I had to actually go and stake them yesterday. Over here we have onions. They're doing wonderful. This is, believe it or not, this one is broccoli rabe, and this over here is turnips. To look at the leaves, you would not be able to tell the difference hardly, which is fine because both leaves are edible, so there's no problem there. But most people think broccoli rabe is related to the broccoli family, but it's not. It's a cousin to the turnips. So that's just something, a little tidbit that you could learn. Swiss chard is doing fine. The kale back there is coming up. My carrots are doing wonderful. I just watered them, so they're laying down a little bit. I've never done Brussels sprouts before, so I'm really pleased with the way they're coming along. Cabbage is starting to take off. I had to plant, put seeds down in a few of these hoes because I didn't want them all to come at one time. So I got 3, and now I've got 3 seeds. We don't use many cabbages, but I like that every once in a while. And the cauliflower didn't do very well at all. And I ended up putting them seeds, so hopefully the seeds will come up. And my broccoli, I got two that look halfway decent, one that doesn't look decent at all, and I planted seeds in the other two. So, like I said, we've had some gnarly weather lately, so, and the temperature has ranged anywhere in here from 38 degrees at night up to 111 at one time when I didn't get out here in time to open it up. But everything is looking pretty good in here. I love the light system. It's the solar panel is inside, so it's well protected. And it's got an on and off switch, so I can turn them on when I come out here at night and turn them off when I leave, which is great. Now let's go and look at the other part of the garden. I really need to get out here and spray my little peaches. See the little peach? I need to spray them before they get much bigger. And over here, we got little cherries. Okay. So things are coming along. It's getting to be springtime or summer. Okay. The little shed, I'm having a little bit of a problem with it. I need to landscape around it. But I need to find out where the water's coming from. I'm getting water in here. I don't know if there's got a leak in the roof because I've never been out here during the rain. And I can see some spots where I can see daylight through, so I might have to come in here probably with some caulking and caulk it all up. But I really need to get a better light in here and start working to organize this. But that will come after I get the garden done. Strawberries, I noticed when I watered them today, we have little green strawberries. See? The chives are doing great. Yesterday I planted some zucchini, yellow zucchini in here. All my parsnips, every one of them came up. But my turnips on here did not do as well, so I had to re-sow the turnips yesterday. Yesterday was quite busy. In this bed I put okra, and then I made two trellises, and I put lima beans, lima beans on there. My potatoes are doing wonderful. This bucket I've saved, I'm going to put a sweet potato in that. It's in the house rooting, putting roots out. And then over here, I planted regular Black Beauty zucchini, and we're going to try a vertical this year and see how it works. One of the other things I did this past week was I turned the compost, redid all the blocks here, and straightened them all up, and put a brand new tarp over it, and put this gate in front to help keep animals out of it. In here I planted my Contender bush green beans. Over here I have Super Snap peas and sweet corn, triple crown bicolored sweet corn. I wrote in this one. The sweet corn is under the straw and the peas are in the other area. So hopefully they'll work. That's the first time I planted these Super Snappy. Now in this one I have sugar snaps, and this is what I was talking about. You see there's a couple, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that have actually look pretty well grown. Well, those were planted back in March when it was so bad. I planted this whole bed in March. That's what I got. So that's how bad our weather's been. Over here I have Blue Lake po beans that I planted. And I'm leaving this kale, not so much for seeds, but for this little guy. He is all over the place. And he's not the only one. Right now I count 5 just buzzing around here. So they don't have much else to eat right now, so I'm leaving this go. And once this pods start to really form, this is where the seeds come from. The seeds are in these little pods. So before they turn dark, and not dark, but until they dry out, I'll leave these go. And hopefully by that time I'll have some flowers out here, which I'm going to plant around the picnic table. I hope I'll have some flowers out here for them, because you want to keep the bees happy. This garden bed, half of it's asparagus. The other half I've always had tomatoes and peppers in. But since I'm putting tomatoes and peppers in the greenhouse, I haven't quite decided what I'm going to put into this bed yet. I'm thinking maybe some herbs, something that I won't have to do every year. But I got the herb garden around back, so I'm not for sure. And this one, I have Alaska peas. And again, planted them in March. 2 of them came up. So I replanted them yesterday. And I have 2 kales on the end. Okay, here we have strawberries again and blueberries. I don't see many blueberry blooms or anything yet, but the strawberries have lots and lots of blooms, and I see green strawberries everywhere. Same thing with this bed over here. The blackberries are blooming. Look at that beautiful bloom. Isn't that gorgeous? Yeah. Okay. Now, the thing to remember about blackberries right now is that they need water. When they're blooming and when they're setting their berries, they need lots of water. And you'll notice that they're putting out new growth. This is your next year's primocane. So when it gets to be about 3 feet tall, then it's when you'll start pinching it back so that it spreads out and makes more canes. And here's another blackberry. The grapes are not doing as well as I like. They got hit by the frost. You can see some of the frost damage, but they're coming out of it. I have a really problem with Japanese beetles on this. So this is going to have to be trimmed up. I need to take out the dead wood and trim it back to the live wood and just straighten this thing out, put a better stake in. Actually, I really need a arbor. I would love to get a trellis over them, but I'm not to that point yet. Maybe next year. So that's what is going on in the garden right now in May. So I hope you enjoyed the tour. If you did, give it a thumbs up. And subscribe to the channel if you would. It doesn't cost you anything. And share it with your friends. Let them know that I'm on. And give it a thumbs up. And remember, dream big and follow that dream. Bye.